Okay, so today we have the 2 ohm version of the THD Hotplate. I got it for the 64 Super Reverb that I bought. I live in an apartment. It's an idiotic purchase, but you know, you only live once. So obviously it sounds great without anything, but if you're really going to push it and not want to get evicted, you're going to need something to attenuate the sound, and a lot of attenuators don't work with 2 ohms. So here it is. It's on 0 right now. It is hooked up, and the bulbs are off, and there's a bright and a deep function. I'll get into that later. But right now, this is the setting, essentially, that I used before I got this. So a little bit below 3, bright switch off, 5.5, 8, bass is 2.2, and then 3 on the reverb, and we don't have the tremolo in. So what we'll be using today is the thin line I had built, but now it's got actual vintage wide range pickups with the Q-Nif magnets, the whole nine. So starting off on the neck with the THD not in play. Now, just for full reference, here is with the on both 10s. Now it's a little bright, and especially when you go to the neck or the bridge. I could basically make the video clip just on hitting a string. So essentially, I go right up to the point where it starts to hurt, and then that's where I have my neck or my tone. So nice, and I apologize if it's low volume. I'm trying to keep everything the same all the way through. So I put a boost in. We won't use that, but if we went up to say, let's just real quick. So low 90s. If we went up even to 3.5, I can hear it's already super loud. So, too loud. Let's knock it down. 4 dBs. So it works. It seems like it took a little something off of it, but that's because we're not finding the perfect balance between dropping the volume and raising the actual volume. So let's go a bit further and preamp to 5, and preemptively let's drop it down. Still on the neck. almost sounds cleaner than other settings because it's louder, and we've got the alnicos in there. So if we drop it 12, back to 9. Part of it is too because when you have it attenuated like this, you feel comfortable playing a little bit harder. So it sounds dirtier at 12 dBs than it did 8 dBs, just because it's a little more in control. Let's go up. Here is a bit past 6, and we have this on 0. This is the, once you get into 16, you can control it further, but let's see if we can get. By my monitor, we're clipping. So as you can hear, it works. We're at 6. There's definitely more to break up in there. Again, speakers aren't bothered by this because they're not actually, the output isn't that high. If we move up to 7, so I mean it's good. There is some different EQs or variations happening as we're increasing the attenuation, and that's just unavoidable. That said, playing with it a bit in both home and live settings, you could figure out that if I'm going up to 16 dBs, it just needs a touch more bass. Or in this case, let's say on the with the deep. It's very slight. Just brings back a little bit of bass. Let's go to the neck. Right. So it's almost like the bright switch here is very similar to the actual bright switch on the amp, which if you don't have a Fender that has a bright switch, that could be an interesting option. So let's continue. Let's move on. We're now at 8. For apartment, so let's try this. I think you're hearing what I'm hearing. So this is where the THD starts. I don't want to say fail, but the high end is kind of fizzing out. We've got all this stuff off. If we see, if we backed it off a little bit, it's not a problem. It's, you know, it's when you get up to this high, you know, just for fun, let's go up to 9. You know, it just, I mean, it really loses the authenticity of the sound, and you do get a bit of fuzzing. I have a Weber Z Matcher, which I'm going to use with the Unleash later, but spoiler alert, the Unleash can handle whatever whatever the Super can dish out and recreate it at whatever, you know, volumes. But so the THD is an amazing device, a lot of features. If we turn the bulb, takes some of the fizz out, but really where I like to leave it is, you know, 6.5. Maybe a little bit higher. Maybe a little bit higher. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Somewhere where when you dig in, you can go from clean long and the short, works really well, but if you're looking to totally crank an amp like this in an apartment setting, which if that is the case, you know, you bought the wrong stuff, which is what I did, but don't care. It's not going to work that great. But if you're looking to just knock it down a few dBs or get to a pretty broken up tone, then yeah, by all means, it works fine. Just for just to hear with the pedal. With the barber, so it really takes pedals well too, but I think is still, if you get into extreme driven situations, you know, it's probably gonna let you down. Again, all maxed out, but other than that, I think it's fantastic, and especially if you can find these things used, they usually go fairly cheap. I think I got mine for $80-90 cash off Craigslist, so no big deal. Yeah, so definitely usable, definitely a good product. You can actually go out to different cabinets. 2 ohm is from what the speaker, or sorry, from what the amp is pumping out. You can go to different cabinets, you know, obviously affect the tone. So, hope that was helpful for anybody looking at one of these. Definitely worth it as long as you understand what you're getting into and the limitations. All right, till next time.